Hello, my old friends.
I thought about throwing them out, but they just have too much sentimental value. You know, it seems like only yesterday when I bought these for you. Boy, these pages are all stuck together here.
Hello, welcome to What the Flick. I am Christy, this is Alonso, this is Matt. You're probably not lying awake in bed at night wondering what became of Stifler and Oz, yet there is a fourth American Pie movie called American Reunion.
American Reunion.
Please describe it to us.
All the people you saw at American Pie, they're back for their high school reunion.
But it's not even a 10-year reunion.
Right, it's a
13-year reunion.
13-year reunion, yeah.
And 13 is bad luck.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say? You want to describe the intricate plot nuances? Okay.
No.
More pie fucking. Take a look.
Make this weekend our bitch.
Let's get a little lit.
You better be ready.
You better be ready.
Let's have
The senior wish list. Remember, we all had to write about our future? Steven Stifler hopes to keep the party going with his boys.
There's a smoking hot 18-year-old girl that used to babysit. I'm not gonna cheat on my wife. I'm a father now.
Be her daddy. High school was awesome. What we had was special. Then we graduated and started getting jobs and getting married and having kids and all that other stupid stuff.
None of our lives are perfect, but no matter what we're going through, we'll always be there for each other.
Were we just as obnoxious as these kids back in the day?
No, our generation was definitely more mature.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna throw up.
But the thing is, I kind of wanted him to sleep with a pie.
There's no with that pie to begin with.
For closure.
There's no
You
pastry
make it sound like
frottage.
it's much more sensitive than it turned. Make no mistake, he fucked that pie.
I wanted to do it
But-
with the creme brulee next.
Yeah.
Because he's a grown-up
A
now.
profiterole.
Because he's a grown-up now.
This time he fucks a turkey.
Were you guys looking forward to this at all? Was this necessary at all?
I was not dreading it because these are charming characters.
Are they?
I think so.
Okay.
The first American Pie movie hits this really amazing sweet spot between being like sweet and smutty. Like the characters are relatable and likable, and even though they're completely obsessed with boners and having sex or whatever, there's an underlying innocence that keeps the whole thing from feeling super smarmy. And it's a movie that acknowledges that teenage girls are horny too, and that that's okay, and that they shouldn't be punished for that.
The first one was kind of revolutionary in that.
The first movie, yes.
Right.
Cut to American Reunion, which is not funny, has a misogynist streak a mile wide, and is just generally agony to sit through.
Yes. The women are all either boring good girls or like slutty nymphettes, and there's no gray area and no complexity in between. So I agree. It's boring, it's bland, and I guess it's trying to acknowledge that, yes, we're all grown-ups now, and we're not in high school anymore, and kids who are in high school don't party the way we used to, whatever. But like, that's not a fun movie. Like Jim and Michelle not having sex because they have a 2-year-old is not a fun movie.
But it could be. I mean, you look at a movie like in movie nerd time, It's Always Fair Weather, which is this movie about 3 best friends in World War II, and they get together 10 years later, and they discover they don't like each other very much. But it turns out they don't really it's not that they dislike each other. They all dislike what has become of them in their own lives. So you can tell this kind of story in a funny way and an interesting way. And I think there's enough of a blueprint with these characters that you could have done that story with these characters and made it work. But this movie is not that.
You're shaking your head.
I just thought it was mostly unpleasant.
Yeah?
It's not funny. It's not particularly funny. I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before, right? I actually think some of the direct-to-video American Pie franchise releases were better than this one.
Why have you seen those?
I have no good answer for that.
Can you justify having watched these movies?
Eugene Levy's in all of them,
I
right?
can tell you
why.
why. Free screeners.
Okay.
Free screener. Get a free screener. All right, I'll watch it.
Okay.
Sure, what the hell?
I will say that, like as with last week's Goon, Seann William Scott is the comic lifeguard of this movie.
Yeah.
Like
He's still Stifler. He's always Stifler.
Yeah, like he manages to like put his arm under the movie's chin and drag it to the shore
I have to
and
say-
breathe some life into it. His stuff is occasionally funny, which is more than anybody else gets.
I thought there were some occasional funny bits. I will say that Seann William Scott, his performance as Stifler as a opposed to what we just saw in Goon, was very jarring for me because I really liked him in Goon,
Right.
and Stifler's such an asshole. You're like,
And he
oh,
can
God.
phone in Stifler. And what he
Yeah,
did in Goon
exactly.
required a challenge for him.
Right.
I would say that the scene with Eugene Levy and Stifler is one of the better ones when they get drunk
Actually,
together.
all
It's
of the
actually a very
scenes,
sweet
Eugene
scene.
Levy is the only thing that really works in this movie. All
More-
of his
yeah.
scenes, I think, really work. His scene with the few scenes he has with Jim when he's talking about married life, I thought were really great. The scene he has with Stifler's mom
That's
was
lovely.
really, really funny.
No, it's really cute.
I thought
no,
that
it's
was
lovely for them
hilarious.
both. You
Yeah,
didn't like it?
but even at the end, that got kind of smarmy. The last moment they get in the movie. is
Oh.
kinda
Well,
like-
okay, the last
forcing
moment.
the raunch.
But
yes.
yeah, I started thinking, wow, Christopher Guest has not made a movie in a long time.
But,
you know,
but the
these
scene
two
he
have
had
nothing better to
at
do
the
than
party
this.
with her was really funny.
It was nice.
That was,
That
yeah.
was
Right,
nice.
I think he was the only one. I think you could do a movie about Jim's dad that would make a great movie, or could make a really good movie. You know, unless it's one of those things that it's a little of it goes a long way. But I think that there could be an interesting movie focused on Jim's dad, and that would have been more interesting here than what we got. Right? I didn't really care about anyone. You don't really, you know,
Well, they're
the
all
one guy,
nobody. They're all bland. There's
Right.
no characterization to any of them, except for
exactly.
Stifler. Right.
Yeah,
He's just different.
they haven't come up with anything to make these characters interesting as adults as they were as teenagers. And I wanted more Natasha Lyonne. We get like one scene of her.
It's startling.
Yeah, and it's sort of
like
like,
2
oh,
seconds.
she's funny. Like she actually sort of brings some bite to this thing, and everybody else is just sort of phoning it in. And
All right. It's a bummer in general. Let's just do
Yeah.
numbers, please. Matt Atchity.
4.
2.6.
I gave it a 3. It's a 3.2 average. I think it is higher than that in the tomato world. Weirdly
I don't
enough.
know what's wrong with everybody. It's about 60%.
But it's dropping, right?
And
It is-
dropping.
it's
yeah.
dropping, but
by
it's-
the weekend it will be.
Probably so. But Roger liked it.
Roger did like it.
Sorry, should I not call it out?
No, it's fine. People have liked it. We just happen to not. This is why
Right.
the job is fun.